Welcome to Second Recount. Before we start the movie, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and support me with a like and comment. That way the channel will grow. Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. At the beginning of the movie, a team is trying to rescue the soldiers on a submarine that has fallen onto the seafloor. Their leader Jonas is able to save many people, but the mission is quickly interrupted when something outside the structure begins attacking the group. The man is shocked when he sees that the walls are being torn apart, and quickly brings the survivors onto the rescue ship, but soon finds out that two of his men are trapped underneath. He tries to go back to help, but the creature continues to damage their vessel, and Jonas is forced to make a difficult decision of leaving his men behind and saving everyone else. They launch out from the area while the submarine begins to implode from the water's pressure, causing a huge explosion under the ocean that they are barely able to escape from. 5 years later in the city of Shanghai, a helicopter flies into the ocean and eventually arrives onto a research facility known as Mana 1. A man called Morris walks out from the helicopter and is greeted by Zhang, the director of the station. They walk down into the building, and Zhang introduces the man to his daughter Svein, who is also the leading biologist of the research team. They eventually make it into the laboratories, and Morris is amazed by the sight in front of him, showcasing the vast ocean and its beautiful inhabitants, as the majority of the building is situated underneath the water. Zhang introduces all the people responsible for their current operation, and reveals that Morris is actually the one who funded this entire place. It turns out that they are in the middle of a mission towards the Mariana Trenches, as they believe that the channels are actually deeper than they previously thought. Zhang thinks that the area is actually covered by a layer of hydrogen sulfide, and the true bottom of the ocean lies below, potentially hiding a new world that has never been discovered. Their team, led by Captain Laurie, arrives at the bottom of the ocean, and just like they expected, the submarine is able to go through the clouds and venture deeper into the trenches. Very soon, they are able to penetrate the barrier and reach onto the true floor of the ocean, where the people are shocked to see an ecosystem filled by strange organisms. Zhang explains that because of the barrier, the area's temperature is much higher than the water above, allowing life to exist where otherwise would not be possible. However, the team quickly notice from the radar that something gigantic has appeared, and it's heading their way very rapidly. The creature crashes into the submarine and causes the vessel to shake violently, eventually making the team lose their signals as the cameras are knocked off. The group try to discuss their options, and their operations manager Max suggests that they need to hire his close friend Jonas, as no one has succeeded a rescue mission this deep. Dr. Heller strongly opposes the plan, as he tells the team that Jonas chose to leave his men behind in the previous mission. But Mac reminds everyone that the action was necessary, since they would have all died otherwise. They head towards Thailand, where Jonas has been drowning himself in alcohol ever since the last mission. Mac tries to convince his friend to help them rescue their teammates, but the man refuses immediately. Not wanting to be responsible for any more lives, however, his mind quickly changes when he realizes that his ex-wife Laurie is in the submarine as well, making him agree to this one last mission. At the same time, the people trapped inside the ocean manages to reconnect their power system and turn on the lights. But this causes the creature to attack their ship once again, severely wounding their captain in the process and breaking their oxygen tank. Svein realizes from the other side that her teammates are running out of time, and decides to commence the rescue by herself. She says goodbye to her daughter and promises to return while hugging the girl tightly, before jumping on the submarine and heading into the vast ocean to rescue her friends. Svein dives deeper into the water, and eventually manages to penetrate through the barrier that separates the trenches. The woman tries to move quietly so that she doesn't disturb any hostile creatures, and is quickly able to find her friends that are stuck on the ocean floor. She tries to grab onto the broken vessel using her hooks, but is immediately attacked by something from behind that knocks her ship around like a little toy. The woman is able to recover from the ambush, but giant tentacles quickly engulf her ship and begins squeezing her vessel from all sides, revealing that the creature is a massive squid. As the capsule is being destroyed, the creature surprisingly lets go and covers the entire area with ink, and Svein realizes that a more dangerous animal has taken the squid's life. The woman watches in amazement as she recognizes the shark as a megalodon, an ancient species that was supposed to be extinct. However, the shark immediately turns back towards the woman and charges in with blinding speed, aiming to destroy her vessel as well. Just before the creature crashes in, the megalodon alters its course towards the far distance, where numerous flares are drawing the animal's attention. It turns out that Jonas has arrived to the rescue mission, as he tries to lure the creature from the people, and giving Svein a chance to escape as her ship has already been damaged. While the shark is being distracted by the flares, Jonas is able to dock onto the stranded vessel and begins maneuvering all the people into safety. Before the rescue can be finished, the giant creature begins circling back once again to finish the job. Realizing that they don't have enough time, the last teammate pushes the others out and closes the hatch immediately as he launches rescue vessel away. The man turns on all the lights and lures the creature towards him as it crashes into the ship while causing a huge explosion, essentially sacrificing himself and saving the others' lives. The team eventually makes it back onto the surface, and the people mourn for their friend's death. The main character feels extremely guilty for failing to save the scientist as well, even though it's clearly not his fault. Surprisingly, after the hot steamy shower that's obviously made for the female audience, Jonas opens the door to find swine rushing into his room like a Christmas present. She tries to thank the man for saving her life, but quickly loses her ability to think after witnessing the man's overflowing testosterone. Swine tries desperately to leave from the embarrassment, but not before taking a final peek behind the door. The people gather to discuss about the next course of action from their discovery, but Morris is only interested in making a profit from the megalodon. While the people are having their heated debates, Swine's daughter arrives at the lower levels to explore the area. But what she doesn't realize is that a massive shark is approaching her from behind. The creature bites at the glass and shakes the entire building, causing the people to run downstairs immediately, only to see a giant bite mark that's larger than a car. Their worst nightmare is quickly confirmed when the creature attacks the whale in front of them and bites the animal in half like it was cutting through butter. Realizing that the Meg has somehow made it through the barrier, the people theorize that their exit from the trenches must have given the creature an opportunity to escape from its native environment. Before they can figure out what to do next, warning signals appear on their computers, indicating that multiple ships have gone down in the area, mostly likely victims of the creature's attack. The people head out immediately into the ocean and eventually arrives at the scene, only to see that nothing is left except for pieces of the boats. They realize that they have to stop the creature before any more damage can be done, but they have no time to get ready for the capture, and instead must prevent the shark from escaping by planting a tracker on its dorsal fin. In order to not provoke the creature and be destroyed like the other boats, Jonas volunteers to swim near the animal to tag on the tracer, but realizes how silly the plan is after jumping into the water. Luckily, the Meg doesn't seem to be interested in devouring people without hair, as it completely ignores the man, giving Jonas the chance to tag on the tracker successfully. However, the team quickly makes a mistake when they try to reel the man in, causing a sudden movement that makes the creature become hostile. Forcing Jonas to immediately swim the other way, the people turn on the boat and pulls their friend away from the creature just in time. But the Meg chases relentlessly behind the main character, with no intention of giving up. In the last moment, Jonas barely manages to escape from the monster and makes it onto the boat, while Shirley still having his life flashing before his eyes. After getting the tracker on the animal, the team prepares to lower a shark cage into the ocean with swine inside, and using the baits to lure the creature towards the woman, so that they can finally capture the megalodon by using their tranquilizers. Very soon, multiple sharks approach the container and surrounds the woman in great numbers, but the animals quickly disperse from area as something massive approaches closer. Suddenly, the giant creature attacks the cage from below and knocks away the container like a little toy. The monster continues to attack the cage and drags the cable across the water, managing to pull away the entire boat as a result. While struggling inside the shark's mouth, Swine manages to inject the tranquilizer into the creature, but the Meg refuses to give up and begins swallowing the entire cage into its stomach. Realizing that the woman is in real trouble, Jonas quickly jumps into the water like a typical action hero and climbs towards his friend by grabbing onto the cable. The shark pulls on the wires even more and knocks one of the crew members into the ocean, causing the animal to go after the other person and giving Jonas the chance to save his teammate. The megalodon rushes towards the surface and charges at the new target, but the woman is able to escape from the attack while the creature smashes into the boat. Jonas takes the chance and tries to free his friend, but soon realizes that her oxygen is leaking rapidly, causing the woman to lose her consciousness. The man eventually manages to open the gate from the other side and pulls the unconscious girl out from the cage as it sinks quickly to the bottom. At the same time, the people on the boat are able to set up a trap using the cables and baits, luring the creature towards the blood and hooking it onto the wires. The megalodon charges at Jonas in blinding speed as the man tries to resurface, but is quickly stopped by the cables on its body as it struggles to devour the divers like a giant Pac-Man. Luckily, the tranquilizer kicks in just in time and knocks out the giant monster, allowing the people to barely escape. After getting back onto the ship, the people immediately try to resuscitate the woman, giving Janisse the chance to have some French kissing in the pretense of saving her life. The woman is eventually able to regain her consciousness and begins thanking the main character for rescuing her once again, realizing that she definitely owes the man some aggressive cuddling in the future. They walk out onto the ship's deck and is quickly amazed by the size of this ancient creature as it hangs on the boat. Janisse tries to take a picture of his colleague alongside the giant monster, but pranks his friend by pushing him into the water, mostly likely making the man wet himself in more than one way. Just when they are celebrating their victory, a larger megalodon devours the man as it jumps out from the ocean and grabs onto the smaller fish by using its jaws, landing on the boat as it flips the entire vessel sideways and sending everyone into the water. The people try desperately to climb back onto safety, and Janisse is able to recover Swine's father by taking him back onto the floating structures, but it's very obvious that the man is severely wounded from the fall. They are eventually able to recover the lifeboats that were also dropped into the ocean, which gives them a way to escape from this dangerous place. However, the people soon notice that the Meg is chasing after them and closing in quickly, as the creature is attracted by the boat's movements. Luckily, Morris is able to call for backup from his mercenaries, and they arrive just in time to save the people. The soldiers launch a tracking device onto the creature's dorsal fin and begin shooting continuously into the water, causing the megalodon to retreat into the ocean. The people are finally able to escape from danger, but they fail to save Swine's father, who eventually dies in front of his daughter, causing her to mourn in tears. After returning back to the headquarters, Morris informs everyone that he's closing down the research facility until the Meg is killed. He tells the people that he's not willing to risk any more causalities, and has informed the governments to handle this issue. In reality, the entire statement was a lie as he flies towards the giant shark alongside his men, trying to kill the creature by himself to avoid any potential legal responsibilities. The people head out towards the creature and drops numerous bombs into the water, making huge explosions in the ocean that eventually causes a giant body to float onto the surface. Thinking that they have finally killed the Meg, the people approach the creature on the boat, only to see that mutable sharks are feeding on what appears to be a large whale. Realizing that they are in terrible danger, the mercenaries rush out from the area so quickly that they drop their piggy bank into the water, leaving him as a perfect buffet for the megalodon, while the creature devours him in a single bite. The next morning, the people realize that Morris never told anyone about the giant sharks, meaning that the team has to find the creature before any more damage can be done. They set out into the ocean as they begin tracking down the megalodon, and quickly finds out that the creature is heading towards a densely populated beach. They try to call the authorities but were not taken seriously at all, forcing the group to take the matter into their own hands as they plan to lure the shark away by using whale noises and putting weapons on their ships. On the other side, countless people are swimming near the beach like a bunch of dumplings in the water, waiting to be devoured by the massive creature. The giant monster approaches the population and jumps out towards the people as it swallows everything in sight, causing everyone to panic in fear as they try to escape for their lives. The creature continues preying on the people as it charges forwards furiously, but suddenly changes course when it hears the whale's noise from far away. At the same time, Janisse and Swine are waiting for the Meg inside their ships, but the animal quickly arrives and begins attacking them viciously. Janisse manages to escape from the creature's bite as he lures the shark away from the boat, trying to avoid being killed by going through the trenches. The man eventually takes the monster towards the woman as she fires her weapon at the enemy, but ultimately misses the target and causes a huge explosion in the process. The eruption is seen by the helicopters in the air as they all fly towards the ship to find out what's really going on. However, the pilots are shocked to see the large creature that's underwater, causing them to be distracted and eventually crashing into each other while landing right onto the boat. The people are forced to jump into the ocean to escape the explosion, but they are now at risk of being devoured by the megalodon. Meanwhile, Swine manages to get the creature's attention as she brings the monster towards Janisse for the shot. But when the man tries to launch his weapon, the system malfunctions at the worst possible time, nearly costing his life in the process as he barely escapes the attack. Swine notices the people inside the water, including her daughter, and is forced to rescue them right away, leaving Janisse to fight against the Meg all by himself as the man tries to lure the creature away. The woman is able to reunite with her daughter and saves the people from the water, but Janisse is quickly running out of options and decides to gamble everything on a final attack. He charges towards the shark in blinding speed and maneuvers right under the enemy while using the side of his vessel to cut across the creature's belly, causing blood to go everywhere. The Meg retaliates immediately by biting onto the man's ship and puncturing the capsule, causing a ton of water to flood inside rapidly. Janisse has no choice but to eject from the vessel while the creature continues to chew at the metal, giving the man the chance to approach the monster's head and stab his weapon into its eye. The megalodon charges furiously at the surface and jumps out from the ocean, allowing Janisse to deal the killing blow before they fall back into the water. Very soon, a herd of sharks are drawn towards the Meg's blood and begins ripping the giant creature into pieces. Luckily, Swain is able to grab onto the man before he becomes the meal as well, and quickly pulls him away from this feeding frenzy. After being rescued by the people from nearby, the team celebrates their victory of killing the creature and avenging their friends who died, while the ship takes them towards the horizons where a new future begins. So what do you guys think about this movie? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like my videos, please press like and subscribe for more. I'll see you guys next time.